welcome to it.
On a Wednesday,
Yes,
June 23rd. We have done it.
9 News Now, welcome 9:15, your time right now. So 9:15 our time, but we're looking ahead to something happening Eastern time a little bit later on today that's going to involve a pretty major player in our part of the world.
That's it. Around 2:30 Central Time, we expect a kind of a summary update from President Joe Biden, along with leaders from 14 other cities where crime is really an issue right now. Baton Rouge happens to be one of them.
So you're going to have Police Chief Paul up there. I don't know if the table's round or if it's a very long one, but kind of a round table discussion. As you mentioned, a number of other local folks involved with their own communities, from law enforcement to mayors as well, talking with the president, the attorney general up there. It's all about trying to stem the flow of what is seemingly a rise in violence in a number of cities across the country. So, and this is a conversation that's going to go on for what, like a year and a half now?
Yeah, and the issue here is obviously the crime rates are increasing, but the president, the new president here, has a number of initiatives that he wants to implement, some national approaches that are going to be implemented in local cities. So that list has come out. Donovan kind of went over that this morning, things like appointing a nominee for a new ATF chair and all the things that they are trying to do to curb gun violence in these cities. So we're going to see what comes out of that at 2:30 here on WAFB.
Big conversation.
Yes.
Okay, so that's 2:30. 4 o'clock our time. Actually, a meeting here in Baton Rouge, part of the world, in Baton Rouge, in fact. East Baton Rouge Metro Council is set to meet. They're going to be talking about potential moratoriums.
We've seen this in Iberville Parish, in Ascension Parish, and obviously this stems from the May flooding. So many homeowners in EBR really just tired of it, tired of gutting out their homes and dealing with that. So tonight, Shauna Banks is set to introduce a proposal to enact a moratorium of building subdivisions across our parish.
The conversation, for instance, in one of the other parishes, Ascension, Clint, the president there wanted 12 months. Council came back with a version of their own, decided on 9 months. What will be the decision here, if any, if they decide to push forward with that? All everybody knows is that flooding is becoming more and more of an issue. So if they don't enact any kind of a moratorium, then what? Do they put some other feet to the fire, so to speak, and really get moving on solving some of these problems? Maybe we'll start to find out at 4 o'clock today.
That's it. Beginning of the conversation starts tonight.
Speaking of having a conversation, for a very long time, there have been issues with HIV testing. There's a stigma, right, that can be attached to it. Some believe it's just, I don't want to go on with it. Louisiana has a problem with HIV. Baton Rouge has a problem with HIV. We're near the top in the country per capita for cases. But our Callie Hubbard was talking with some folks this morning that trying to reverse that.
Yes, there's a lot of federal funding set aside to make HIV testing free, not only in our part of the world, but there are centers all across the area that do this regularly. But Ochsner is trying to make it easy by hosting an event this Friday to have you come out and get tested for free. And this is completely confidential. It is private. You can get your results there quickly, but Ochsner really wants people to know the status of this, because this is now something that is, they want to destigmatize. HIV and AIDS is something that is way different than even a decade ago. It's treatable. It's treatable. So they just need to know, you need to know if you have it.
They talked about it, and I thought it was an interesting way to describe it this morning, because you're right, a decade ago, and even decades ago, in the 80s it was a death sentence. It seemed like a death sentence. But an interesting way they put it this morning, it's kind of like dealing with, at this stage of our science, diabetes. This is not a death sentence. You come in, there are ways you can treat this, but you can't figure it out unless you really know. And getting ahead of the game, getting it early, understanding it early, is the way that all gets started. You have to be able to get around the stigma, and this is one of the ways to make that happen.
Early detection is key,
exactly
like with many things in the medical world. So sign up. Ochsner has that link. Callie has this information in the story for you. Really good to know ahead of time as you kind of set aside some time and figure out your weekend plans.
Speaking of setting ahead. We have recently been talking a lot about the need for blood in our area. We've done blood drives here. Johnny Haitian was up on the roof.
We locked him on a roof.
Exactly
in a building.
But look, there's always a need for blood. Literally, you're saving lives every time you go in there and you donate. But right now, it seems like the need is even greater, and it's not just a perception; it's reality.
Yeah, we aired a story this morning about a woman who needs regular blood donations, but because we're so limited nationwide, she had a stroke because they could only give her a half supply. I know someone who was just sharing this story on the internet the other day. They are a cancer patient. They have a rare form of lung cancer. They are only getting half blood supplies right now because it is so rough, and so that's delaying the long-term care that they need. because of a shortage. So nationwide, this is a problem. If you are healthy, if you are in a place to donate and you say, you know what, I've got 30 minutes today, let me go to a local blood center, and we've got a number of them in town where you can donate.
It's easy.
Somebody would greatly appreciate that.
And they're talking about it being like, related to the pandemic, because so many of those
elective surgeries,
they're not so much needed. Now people are trying to get in there and get it. Well, you don't have the blood to be a part of that surgery if it's needed. A lot of people just pushing off, like you mentioned, some stuff. It's so simple when you think about 30 minutes of your time.
Yeah.
45 minutes of your time.
And your body produces more of it.
We make it.
Right.
So I think it's what a great opportunity.
That's
saving a life.
That's it.
Speaking of saving lives, we are down to the wire, and you can be a part of this today, the final day for the Drive in the Future campaign.
Yes, and I hear we are about 1,500 roughly tickets away from beating last year's goal. And remember, all the proceeds from this go towards the Children's Hospital. And this place is incredible. I know you're probably like, okay, y'all tell us this every single time.
Yeah, what?
But let's say the kid in your neighborhood, the cute kid that you see waving by, gets into a horrible accident, needs some kind of surgery, needs some kind of care, whether it's a broken bone or whether it's a cancer treatment. They can get that at the Children's Hospital here in Baton Rouge.
I cannot speak to the power and the importance enough of having something like this in your own backyard. My wife and I, our firstborn, we needed a level 4 NICU at the time with our firstborn, and we didn't have anything like this in our backyard where we were living at the time. Yeah, for hours to get to a spot, and to have this kind of tech in our backyard, this kind of facility, this kind of brain power, but it's only possible because of people like you and your love for community, your love for the children. And yes, we helped stand this thing up. 10 years, man. I mean, it was huge.
Yeah.
But now we need to be able to keep this going. And you know what? You might win a car.
Yeah, the upside to it, 1 of 5 silver Lexus vehicles. And the deadline tonight to get those tickets, because tomorrow at 5 p.m., Greg and the folks over at the foundation and the hospital are drawing those 5 names. And then next Monday, those 5 winners are picking their vehicle.
That's right. So much
Lots
fun.
of excitement.
I love it. They click the fob.
Oh,
like, which one starts dinging?
The panic button goes off. Everyone starts panicking.
Button.
Oh, yeah.
Quiet down on the panic button. So all that's happening. Midnight tonight, the deadline?
Yes.
There you go.
Get your tickets.
Get your tickets.
11 years in the making.
Get your tickets. Get your tickets. All right. We talked about weather. The weather's been the headline maker for like what, 3-4 months?
Yes.
A lifetime now.
Yeah.
Is it going to be again today? Well, Steve says, you know what? Maybe a tick on the drier side. Just a little tick over the last couple days.
That's it. The percentage of rain today is a lot less than it was yesterday and Monday.
Sure.
It was 70%. Today it's 50%.
Yeah.
And if you take a look at Tower Cam over Baton Rouge, so this is if you've ever driven down Government Street.
Where'd it go?
Oh, there we go.
Hello.
Government Street, you see the big old tower over Channel 9. This is the camera that is atop the tower looking over the state capitol in downtown Baton Rouge. It is. You can see the sun is out.
It is.
It's not clear, but it is out, peeking between clouds.
I think we got a little bit of radar as well. So this is stepping you through your day. And if you start, wait for it, it's resetting. There's your 9 o'clock hour. Now watch. Look at the stuff as the afternoon approaches. It's that system kind of pushing through the little coming in from the coast. It's almost like that summertime pattern setting up again for us that we haven't seen over the last number of months. It's just been like constantly raining. But that's kind of what this looks like.
Sporadic, scattered storms. So just keep an umbrella with you. Just know that throughout the day, kind of like yesterday, it's just going to be scattered showers in and around the WAFB viewing area.
Perfect place to find it, right
That's
here. WAFB.com and the 9 News app. Something else we were talking about today. Where are we? Right here.
Yes.
There's a few things going on here, but I wanted to start with the NBA draft lottery last night.
Did you see this on social media? It was a buzz, and still needs to be a buzz.
You know what? This is a failure on social media. If this is not a meme here,
I haven't
pretty
seen
quick.
anything yet. I'm very disappointed.
I am too. Swin Cash. She's one of the folks in charge of the Pelicans over there, VP, like player, personnel, that kind of thing. She was representing the Pelicans last night at the NBA draft lottery. Pelicans hoping to move up in the 10 spot, maybe. Did not happen. So they picked the Pelicans at 10, and her reaction was just priceless, because it was just,
Yeah.
all right.
Yeah.
So that's the story. Pelicans get the 10th pick in the upcoming draft back into July. They'll have the 10th pick pick.
Look, she did not hide her emotions.
No, she did not.
So if you see a meme with Swin Cash, that is from last night, most likely. Her reaction to it. And it's so relatable. Her face and expression is so relatable.
Yes. That's why you'll probably see it anywhere if social media has any kind of say about it. Something else that happened yesterday that could have an impact on LSU.
Yes.
Tennessee Volunteers, done at the College World Series. Yeah. Why is that important? Well, their head coach has been talked about a lot as a potential for the next head coaching job at LSU.
Tony Vitello, could that be a common household name for LSU baseball fans?
Well, you know what? It was recently, but not in a good way.
Yeah. So the Vols have some time to sit and maybe he's got some time to take some calls now that he's going home for the College World Series.
2 in a barbecue over there in Omaha.
I like that. 2 in a barbecue.
2 in a barbecue. It's never what you want to do up there. But you made it that far, further than LSU did.
Which is impressive.
Look,
I mean, golf clap, kudos to you.
You know, it's in a lot of locker rooms and a lot of clubhouses. Yeah. It's a road to Omaha, all right? So they made it further than just about every other team. Only 8 teams get to make that trip. But yeah, 2 and a Q for Tennessee. Mike Bianca with Ole Miss has already said, I'm staying at Ole Miss, signed an extension. So where does LSU go now? Maybe those phone calls pick up towards Tennessee. We shall see.
Only time will tell. Time will tell. That's it.
Speaking of time, we're about out here. But that does not mean you don't have a whole ton more stuff coming your way on the pluses.
Yes, 1 o'clock today, Jacques Talk is going to happen here. And he has a wealth of information, of different knowledge that you could use for trivia. So if you are looking to brush up on your Baton Rouge, South Louisiana sports skills, you may want to tune in at 1 o'clock.
He is one of those guys you need to take to like a sports trivia.
Random facts, I'm telling you, he would dominate. Yes.
I think you're right.
He would dominate.
He and like Matt Moscona, a friend over at 104.5 ESPN.
I think he actually hosted his show yesterday.
See, exactly. I mean, the Simpatico, they got a lot of the same kind of knowledge base because they've been around for so long and are able to just kind of out of nowhere. Oh, by the way, did you know? Right. No, I didn't know that. Nobody knows that except for you guys.
Exactly.
So yeah, they are peas in the pod, and Jacques is always such a great storyteller. 1 o'clock today? Mm-hmm. All right, then fine.
Lucky to have him here.
Always. So WAFB Plus, you never quite know. We continue to expand and grow in all the right ways, hopefully.
Growing pains.
Pains?
Growing pains, as my niece and nephew like to say.
Stretch it out a
little
bit.
I feel growing pains, but they're all good things. They lead to development. We're developing.
We're trying.
Yes.
We're trying. Hopefully you don't see a lot of the developing.
Ooh.
We'll just give you the good stuff at some point.
We try.
Speaking of the good stuff, noon o'clock.
Noon o'clock with Scotty Hunter.
That's the way to do it.
Yep.
All right, everybody. Y'all be safe. Be dry. We'll see you a little bit later.
Take care.
Bye now.